Hey guys, so today I managed to get a male INFP to agree to do an interview with me. So this is really exciting. You guys probably already know him. This is Sherman from Geek Psychology. His channel is really awesome, so if you don't know already, I'll put a link below so you guys can check him out.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. Probably both like more rare types for our gender, being an INTJ female and INFP male. So did you feel that like growing up, probably especially as an INFP male, was your innate personality sort of at odds with maybe what was like socially expected of you as a guy?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had like a lot of issues with emotions when I was younger. It could have been like because I don't know if this is a standard thing, but my parents got divorced, and it was when I was younger, so I don't know if it was just a lot of going through that, or if it was really just FI having no idea what to do, and like kind of losing that footing, and kind of just it was pretty rough up through like middle school, high school, and then when I actually moved to Japan is when I got a lot more clarity on that stuff, and I wasn't as emotional, and actually kind of tried to go to be like this stoic like man that doesn't express any emotions and things like that, and that was also a struggle because like I felt what I feel is deeply, like I felt all these things, but I knew that if I were to let that out, I would get really hurt by it, or I would hurt somebody else by it. Like, relationships were always kind of that problem of like, if this happens, if we do start dating or whatever, somebody's gonna get hurt. So I'm just gonna try to step out from that and just not even do it.
Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, I know. I hate gender roles and all that kind of stuff, and like I think it destroys like both males and females in like equal but opposite ways probably.
Yeah. How was it for you?
Yeah, I think I was very aware, probably like more so around like adolescence, that I didn't know how to like interact with other females in the way that like was kind of a common way, I guess. And yeah, I think for a long time I probably like mentally cast myself more of like a weirdo and an outcast than I actually was, but I guess I was just kind of interpreting my internal state and being like, oh my god,
yeah,
all these girls like act so naturally with each other, and they're so like emotionally expressive, and they can like hug each other or like tell each other their secrets, and I was really like, I just didn't know how to do that. I guess I was interacting with the world through TE, and I couldn't really fathom how to do that. So I think, yeah, I guess I felt kind of alone probably growing up, and
Probably, yeah.
I think I think I only really figured out how to like socialize well, like probably within like the last few years, really. And I think I kind of put down these like preconceived notions of like myself and of maybe what others expect from me, and just kind of opened up to SE more. Just kind of, just kind of lived in the moment and tried not to be so judgmental, I guess, towards myself or towards a situation or things like that.
Do you think SE was the key to making you feel more comfortable in who you are in that sense?
Yeah, probably.
Or was it TE that
And probably FI as well. Just coming to a place of like, kind of ironically, I guess, coming to a place of just accepting myself for who I am, probably also enabled me to like open up more emotionally towards others and actually like change those parts of myself that maybe I was initially self-conscious about. And yeah, and then just being kind of letting myself socialize and not seeing all my social interactions through this NI lens of like that I'm incapable of doing it, so kind of dropping that and just being more in the moment through SE, and that probably helped me a lot. Just getting to the place to realizing that like, trying to make people like me through means of like not being completely authentic is like besides the point, because then I'm just going to attract people who I'm not naturally like that compatible with, or we're not going to have a real friendship. So just kind of letting me be myself and
Right.
Yeah, if it's not really that congruent with like maybe how we socialize females in our society, like that's totally fine because then I'll get real friends out of that process anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever had anybody say like, if you're at a party or something like that, or a bar or whatever, that they're like, why don't you just have fun? Have you ever had people say that? I've had so many people come up to me like, just have fun, loosen up. I'm just like, I'm okay right here watching everybody. You know,
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely had like family members, I think, like tell me that. But yeah.
it wasn't through friends usually. It was just like random people
Right.
that felt like they had something to say.
Right, or like, why are you being so quiet? Or
Yeah.
things like that, for sure, yeah. I think I've learned how to have fun. More so now that I've like opened up to SE, yeah. But I guess for you it's different. Is it just like, for you, was it just you were in that internal state of kind of like trying to align yourself with what felt right with you? And
Yeah, it was a lot of like me watching people and trying to find the exact person and interaction that I wanted to join, that I felt would be good, or that would continue on to wherever, like some meaningful experience, instead of just like going nutty and kind of talking to whoever, or doing anything like that. It was kind of like reserved and trying to watch and put people into like all these little categories and try to figure out who exactly is going to match right. If that makes sense.
that's interesting. So it's like very kind of conscious and intentional interaction with the world, I guess, right?
Yeah. Whereas my like ENFP and ESFP friends are just like, let's just go talk to everybody and see what happens, and loosen up. And whereas I would just kind of usually be in the back and watch until the perfect opportunity that might not come.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I guess we tend to think of introverts as introverts and extroverts as extroverts, but then it's like, I guess we have like two very different modes of introversion, where yours is like a judging mode of introversion and mine's like a perceiving mode of introversion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we just interact very differently. Yeah, I think a lot of it too for me was just like these kind of larger social interactions where you're meeting a bunch of new people all at once is just kind of like too much for my NI to process very quickly. So I think a lot of time I just felt bombarded by like all this, external things that I had to react to very quickly. And I think, it wasn't so much of like a conscious intention, like, oh, I want to do that or I don't want to do that, but just, I guess, not feeling capable of like, just being able to kind of react in that situation.
Has NI ever been, in those situations, something that you feel you can kind of just turn off and just kind of go just to be like, all right, I'm done trying to do NI, and I'm going to be extroverted, and I'm just going to like let things happen. Like for me, I guess I'll give an example for me more. I would get these kind of feelings that I need to just stop, I need to get out of my FI, out of my head or my heart or whatever you want to call it, and just do stuff and let loose. And like the only way for me to do that was to either drink, which I tend to not go to that level of like out of control because I want to control myself, or be in like an environment that I feel very comfortable in, like the mood. So I used to go to a lot of Japanese reggae concerts and events, and it's just like tons of people that are all just like jumping around and swinging towels and having a lot of fun. And that was like the only environment that I could actually just be like, everybody's so happy and likes life, I'm going to actually let loose a bit too. But it was very few circumstances that I was able to kind of do that. So that's kind of what I was wondering. I don't know if that made any connections in there.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, alcohol helps. I mean, yeah. Well, I guess just alcohol lowers inhibitions, right? So probably whatever introverted cognitive functions we're using, that kind of lowers that down a little bit, and we can just act more externally.
I always regret, though, after I drink that much, I'm like, I'm an asshole.
Yeah. I think I slowly... Yeah, I think it's just kind of dropping my judgment towards myself, I guess. Like I enjoy just like going out and like dancing to like, music or whatever, and like I guess starting into like maybe junior high or whatever, when we start having school dances, I was like so incredibly shy, and like I think I wanted to like enjoy that experience, but I just couldn't, and it kind of worked my way up until high school, and probably just like slowly becoming more comfortable with myself, and also probably developing stronger friendships where I just felt more comfortable with the people around me. And yeah, but it's interesting, even to this day, even though like I've gone out clubbing and just for the joy of like dancing to music, but or sometimes I'll even just dance by myself in my room alone. But even then, I can still kind of be a little bit inhibited just because I'm kind of judging myself a little bit, and that's so sometimes I'll just drink a little bit just to kind of loosen up, and I know I'll enjoy the experience of that more. So yeah, sorry, I forgot what was your original question.
I don't know. It was something like that. Yeah. It was just, I think it was like, are you able to kind of turn off an eye every once in a while and just kind of get into that experience, which is what you were talking about.
Right. Yeah, I can, but I think it's difficult because I guess NI is my first function. It's not the easiest thing to do, and I don't think I can do it for like very long. Or I can think I have it shut off, but then maybe everything will be going fine, and then maybe I'll like misinterpret someone's like facial expressions or something, and then I'll go back into NI mode and then start analyzing and be like, oh, okay, what did I say, and how could that person possibly perceived what I said, and how did that maybe make them feel, and yeah, so it's it's hard. I think it requires a lot of conscious effort to not be in NI mode.
I used to I would buy costumes and stuff and just go out to the clubs or just go walking around outside in these weird costumes. This is going to sound super strange, but like a little tiger costume or a kangaroo costume, and we would go out to the club. It helped me like create all these new experiences, which is kind of like, it was intentionally, I think, trying to get NE to work for me instead of me trying to like push it out. Because a lot of people would be like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing this? Like, what's going on? Did you lose a bet? And all this other stuff. And I felt more comfortable a lot of times with that kind of like mask, not an actual mask, but like having that kind of, I'm in character right now, so it's okay to loosen up and have fun and stuff like that.
I can kind of relate to that, because I guess you're using your second function, which is like your first extroverted function, to kind of ease yourself into these things. And yeah, I think I could totally see myself using TE to kind of like ease myself into social situations. Because I started this meetup group, and it's based on like Myers-Briggs, so okay. I think this helps my TE because it gives me this like external purpose for the social event, right? Where people come and they usually know their MBTI, or if they don't, they're at least interested in it, and I can like talk to them and like explain these things to them. Whereas if I just like went to like any random social event where maybe I didn't know people, I think that would be like way too stressful for me to kind of adapt to that situation. But yeah, like everyone having that kind of shared purpose of like, oh, okay, we're coming together to talk about this thing. And I can like, and I can share my knowledge with people, and usually if there's like awkward silences, I can find a way to like bring something MBTI related up and keep it moving. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting parallel, I think.